The games are just so boring right now. I mean, we've had some good games, don't get me wrong, but I can't remember the last time that both conference finals ended in a sweep because it's really looking like it. On Memorial Day, I believe it's time to honor Bill Russell. I believe it's time to win the East, to make it to the finals for the first time since Bill Russell's death. So um, it's going to be a different Memorial Day. I believe last year was kind of a symbolic sacrifice, falling short, just still mourning the death of Bill Russell. That it's kind of hard to make it to the finals. That really highlights how impressive it was for Bill Russell to make it to the finals. I don't give a damn if there were 8 teams back in his day, but they honored their legend this year on Memorial Day by winning the East. It's going to be a sweep, and it's just such a boring finals. I mean, it's so predictable. It's so predictable at this point. They not gonna have him lose. Are they? You really expect Kyrie? He's not gonna show his supremacy over his Jew masters because his are Jewish. He attacked the Jews in that anti-Semitic Tribe documentary. He attacked the Jew, Mark Cuban, the Jews. Kyrie attacked the Jews. The Jews. Kyrie attacked the Jews. The Jews want everything. The Jews. This and that. They're not real Jewish. They Ashkenazi. Kyrie dead. Was that what his documentary was about? Because let me tell you, their ultimate punishment for Kyrie is not to miss the play-in. That's not the ultimate punishment. The ultimate punishment is to humiliate him against his former team where he was a prima donna, he was a bad leader, he was acting up the Bucks in 5 over the Celtics. Kyrie was pouting, he's being a big prima donna. He was wrecking the team. I mean, they all remember. They all remember. Every Celtics fan and player remembers. Kyrie was destructing the team with this hero ball. Kyrie wanted the glory over Jason Tatum. The Jews are ready to humiliate Kyrie. I mean, it sure looked like the punishment was missing the playoffs. That is so minuscule compared to losing on the biggest stage against these pesky, hated Celtics and they fans over there. Basically, to tell Mr. Goyman that you serve us, Kyrie. Watch who you talk your shit to. Kyrie will still play. It's millions of dollars. He's still playing ball because at the end of the day, it's millions of dollars. That's what it comes down to. Kyrie Irving is playing because who's going to turn down millions of dollars to play a game? Not a kid's game, because you can play pickup ball as an adult, so it's not a kid's game. It's not a kid's game. It's still a game. You get paid to play a game. So he's not turning down millions of dollars. He's still going to play basketball. I think at the end of the day, Kyrie accepts his fate from the Jews. That most, I mean, a good chunk of the owners are Jewish. I don't have a percentage, but because there's quite a bit of them that are Jewish, and Kyrie attacked the Jews, this couldn't have made the owners happy. This had to make them very upset. So this is their way. Don't talk shit about Judah. We're gonna punish you on the biggest stage. You attack the people who hold all the power in this country. It's not the whole Jewish people, but through a political organization known as AIPAC, they have bought all of the politicians. They have sent over billions of dollars to Israel. So that is who runs the country. And Kyrie Irving attacked them big time. So Illuminati not going to have Kyrie win the finals. I guarantee you that. 18 is the lucky number of chai in Hebrew. You see all the injuries that the Celtics got lucky with. I think that fits into 18 luckiest chai narrative for the 18th title. And they're the Celtics. It's the lucky charms, getting lucky with all the injuries coming their way, right? So there's that element too with 18. But there's no way Kyrie is winning the finals. It ain't happening. He talks shit about the people who have power. This is what he did at the end of the day. He attacked the Jewish owners. What was the exact messaging in that documentary? It may have been a year, so I think I've certainly forgot exactly what he said about it. I think he said that they were not the real Jewish people, that the real Jews were black. I think the real Jews were black. People lived in the Middle East, closer to the equator, what have you, closer to the desert. They're going to have darker complexion. So nothing like the anglicized Jesus. The anglicized Jesus may not. That's probably not what the Jesus looks like in real life. So I don't know. I think maybe he's got a point there, but documentary on the Jews. And so the people run the NBA. This is what Comanche is. It's Jewish mysticism. That's what it is. So people who sync up the NBA by Gematria, they're running it through this code. You see, I think you need to code this documentary with Kyrie Irving. It's probably gonna. Well, I mean, it is. It's not just white people that own slaves. Enslaved black people. Jews did enslave black people, believe it or not. So it wasn't just white people. We're only taught one side of the slave trade. So I mean, I think he's got a point there. White, Arab, Jew, they all own slaves. I think there are even some. I don't think there are some black people in America that own slaves. I don't think so. I don't think so. I got to go verify that information. The 2018 film, directed by Ronald Dalton, based on his 2015 book of the same name, description states it uncovers the true identity of the children of Israel. Since the European Arab slave traders stepped foot into Africa, blacks have been told lies about their heritage. Both suggest Hebrews to Negroes expunge ideas in line with more extreme factions of the black Hebrew Israelites. Long history of misogyny, homophobia, xenophobia, blah, 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 blah. The movement generally coalesces around the notion that black people are the real descendants of the ancient Israelites. I mean, you wonder what they talk about in the Bible with those who say they are Jews but are not, or the synagogue of Satan. I mean, I think that they're referring to the Rothschild bankers. Those are the Antichrist. Rothschild bankers, Ashkenazi Jews. Eastern Europe. They did. They're not the ones from the Middle East. They're the Semitic and then they're the Ashkenazi Jews. The Ashkenazis, I think, are the synagogue of Satan that they talk about. Basically, that's who the Rothschild bankers are. The bankers that start the wars, that geoengineer the politics around the world. That's basically who they are. Is the Rothschilds. They don't talk about them, but the Rothschilds, they own central banks in every single country around the world. I don't know which ones are not under the control of the cabal. Not sure which countries have control their money. There's some banks, but they're privately owned. The U.S. Federal Reserve System is split up into 12 individual shareholders. So these are for-profit institutions. A government should print its own money with zero interest, but instead the private banksters like the Rothschilds, they end up controlling the country's money, and they end up lending it to the government. So it's not the government printing their own money. It's the government borrowing it from the private entity. So that's why the United States is such a huge scam, because it can be a United States note, a United States Treasury note, but instead it's a note from a private banking cartel that ends up lending it to the government, and they end up charging you interest for using your money. I mean, you could have $10 in currency, and you print $10. The Federal Reserve lends it out, then they charge interest. So if you print $10, and how are you going to pay them back with the interest? It's impossible to pay back to begin with. That's why fiat. This is why privatized fiat currency is a scam. This is what Kyrie is talking about. I don't know if he touches. I don't know if he touches up with the private banking. Uh, the private banking uh, expose. I don't know how familiar Kyrie Irving is with that. But basically, if they're from the Middle East, they should have much darker skin complexion. I mean, I Jesus would certainly look much darker than the anglicized pictures of Jesus. So I think that's where Kyrie Irving is coming from. Certainly, you must be referring to something in the Bible. That those who say they're Jews but are not. That's basically what Kyrie Irving is talking about. I think this is behind his beliefs. I mean, who's going to be doing it? I mean, the Ashkenazis, the Rothschilds, they're all over banking. They're all over the media too. I'm unfamiliar with this one. Well, well, certainly Jews own slaves, but they're not responsible for slavery by itself. You know, slavery is a big part of the Arabic world, I know. So that's like a worldwide thing. They can't pinpoint to one group of people, whether it be white or Arab or Jew. They think Jews are feminizing black men. That seems like a wild one. It seems like the more plausible one that I can really get behind is the banking one. Is the banking one, and basically the Rothschilds, the Federal Reserve, because they control every precedent. So um, this is basically Kyrie Irving is going to get absolutely humiliated on the biggest stage against his former team, against these fans in Boston that hate Kyrie Irving. That they're going to get the ultimate revenge against Kyrie Irving in the finals. So yeah, maybe he really believes that blacks are the God's chosen people. Maybe, I don't know. And then the Bible is like 5,000 years old. I mean, the Homo sapiens go back 100,000. They go back much longer in time. I know that for a fact. Well, Cowboys are going to miss the playoffs. Mike McCarthy's a lame duck because the coach doesn't want to. He doesn't want to pay for two coaches, so he's gone. The Cowboy season is over before he even started. There's just no coming back from that. Washington's going to be much better. The Giants are going to be better. So, um, I mean, you get the ass beat like that. I don't know if Trayvon Diggs could be the same player after an ACL injury, but uh, the Cowboys are going to miss the playoffs. That's my prediction. There's always one or two contenders that miss the playoffs. So if the Cowboys miss the playoffs, I can see the Cardinals making the playoffs because Marvin Harrison is there and he's the son of Colts. So I think the Niners should still make the playoffs. They're not going to win the NFC. I'd be really surprised if both the if I think both the Packers and the Lions are going to make the playoffs next year. I'd be surprised if one of them doesn't make it. Certainly, the Lions are going to make it. I think the Packers should make it again. The Rams will not make the playoffs. The Rams going to miss the playoffs. What was the name of the movie? But I think he's a little cuckoo because the Earth is certainly not flat. Someone tell Kyrie that the Earth is not flat. How could it be flat? It's all facing the same direction. Why do you have day and night? I mean, what is Kyrie smoking? I think he's batshit crazy with this flat Earthism. I mean, we took a picture of the planet from outer space. I mean, he cray about planet Earth. He thinks he's some all world intellectual. We never get to hear Kyrie Irving talk about what he thinks about the documentary. We never got to hear his side on it. So I don't know what are his real beliefs about it. He just shared the movie, but he doesn't go into it, I guess. He doesn't go into how it relates to his individual beliefs as far as the Jews controlling the slave trade. Or maybe the excerpt from the Bible about those who say they are Jewish, but he can't attack the Rothschilds, so he'll be ostracized for good. This is who you're dealing with. The Dallas Mavericks ain't got no chance of winning the finals. They don't have any chance of winning the finals because of Kyrie Irving. Because he will never ever win any championship ever again after he attacked the media. He attacked the banking cabal. He attacked the owners. He attacked the entire Jewish people. ESPN on Disney, Hollywood, he ain't got no chance of winning the bottles. Kyrie's going down, and he's losing against Gokin LeBron James. This is probably a singing ritual. Kyrie made the finals without Gokin LeBron James. I wonder what the ratings are from this conference finals. I wonder what the ratings are. How is the playoffs doing without Gokin LeBron James? The Gokin LeBron plays in a far better league than Michael Jordan ever played. Michael Jordan is the most catered superstar in the history of the world. NBA playoff ratings down 12% as casual fans pine for LeBron and Curry at line. Oops, wrong. Sportico.com. Sportico.com. So let's get into this. Timberwolves 98-90 win, defense champion Nuggets. NBA playoffs are averaging 4 million viewers, a 12% decline compared to 4.58 million through the first two rounds of the playoffs. The year ago deliveries benefited from the Kings Warriors Game 7 and the GOAT King LeBron Stephen Curry showdown. What is unanswered, I guess, is they will not go into the international ratings. Since the playoffs tipped on April 20th, overall TV usage is down 7% year to year. And of course, now they miss out on the New York Knicks. Oh, this is good. This is great news. This is great news for next year. And this is crazy. The finals begins on 6-6. Tatum is 2-4 because he lost to the Warriors. So it's going to be Boston 4-2. Tatum's going to be 4-2 in the final. He's going to be 6-6 in the finals. But it just seems like it's a lock that the Celtics are going to win in 6 games. He has a 6-6 record in the finals. He wins the title in his 12th game in the finals. Then he enters 6-6 against Gokin the Bond and the Lakers next year. I mean, it just seems like it's a perfect lock. It doesn't end in 4 or 5 games like last year, but it goes 6 games. It's 6-7. Should be guaranteed, I think, because they got to somehow make up for the lack of games in the conference finals. They'll give us the game 7 next year. They'll give us the Lakers and the Celtics to make up for without the Lakers and the Warriors, without Curry and Gokin the Bomb, without any added games in the conference finals. They will make up. They will make up for it all next year. They will make up for the missed games in the boring playoffs next year. That was a boring playoffs. Boring. New York Knicks, everyone got hurt. That was boring and predictable. Okay, that was a great game 7 between the Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. Okay, I love seeing Mike Moron Malone. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. Stupid question. Mike Moron Malone, talking about your dynasty. Where you at, Mike Malone? You just another guy. Who are you talking about? Go kill a ball like that, Mike Malone. He's just another guy at the end of the day. Every team the Nuggets beat didn't even win 50 games. Every team the Nuggets beat did not even win 50 games in the regular season. Every team they beat during the championship run last year, every team they beat. And Louis Arms ended the year at 49. They cannot beat a team that has won over 50 games in a season. They can't. Mike Moron Malone, he had an easy ride to the finals. Who they beat? Who did the Nuggets beat last year? Losers Suns last year, they didn't win 50 games. They're a loser team last year. How many games did the loser? 45 wins. This team sucks. They were average and mediocre, and they got swept this year. This team is trash. Mike Moron Malone was losing for 73% of the series against the Lakers. The Nuggets are hot trash. Pay attention. Can they beat a team that's won over 50 games? No. Nuggets are trash. End of. Lakers Mavericks first round next year. The Dallas Mavericks 183. We are beating Dallas in the first round of next year's playoffs. And how does that tie in the Lucas playoff record? Hey, here we go. Every year they think Luka's gonna win. He's not gonna win until they get rid of Kyrie Irving. They will not win anything until they get rid of Kyrie Irving. They will not win anything. I guarantee that. I guarantee they not winning anything. How about this? If Doncic gets 5-5, he can fall to 5-6 in the playoffs. after he loses against the Celtics and loses against Goat LeBron in the first round. How about that? Kyrie Irving is the biggest joke of a player I've ever seen out there. He's so overrated on such a magnificent scale. He's 1-2 in the finals. Kyrie Irving falls to 1-3. He's an absolute joke. Dallas is 13. Kyrie Irving falls to 1-3 in the NBA finals. This guy is such a big joke. He's one of the most overrated players I've ever seen ever. And if we don't include 2015, it's okay. Kyrie Irving falls to 1-2 in the finals because Tatum is 12, and we do not count 2015 because Kyrie got hurt after the first game. Kyrie Irving going down. He will. He's going down. The 21st playoff series of Kyrie Irving's career against the Lakers. Perfect. 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 Now that's what I like Kyrie Irving. I think it's Kyrie that's 32, Kyrie or Irving that's 32, and then his 32nd playoff loss to lose the championship. And Kyrie's a joke. This guy never ever won a championship. How many people think Kyrie Irving will win the championship? I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to go check out the poll. Celtics have no chance of losing the finals. No chance. No chance. Kyrie attacked the cabal. They do not have a chance of winning the finals. Kyrie Irving is being shamed in the most humiliating way possible against all these Celtics fans. He's going to hear it for life. He's going to hear it from life from Boston. He got in the finals. He facing his former team, and they destroy Kyrie Irving. He got destroyed. He got absolutely destroyed. I mean, the city of Dallas, Texas is gematria of 61, 61 being the 18th prime number. The city of Dallas is gematria 61, 61 the 18th prime. Funny how the gematria of Dallas, when you enter it both ways, equals the 18th prime number. Yeah, Dallas Mavericks has gematria of 61 in reverse reduction, 61 the 18th prime. So we go into this a little bit more, but the Mavericks are going to lose back-to-back playoff series against two contestants in next year's NBA Finals. So, yep, Kyrie, he's cooked. He ain't got no chance without LeBron James. He needs LeBron James in order to win. Yeah, Kyrie's 32. If the Mavericks sweep the Timberwolves, his 32nd playoff loss of his career is going to lose the championship. He'll find a way to choke and lose all the games at Boston. I guarantee he will. What's the Mavericks record in the finals? They have 8 wins. They've lost 2 games against the Miami Heat. What's the record in the finals? You know, that's what I'm looking into. The game record for the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. So they lost 4-2 against the Heat. Okay, they lost 4-2. They're at 6-6. Mavs is 10, so 10th win or 10th loss. It's certainly possible for the Mavericks to win Game One of the finals. Kyrie, Andrew Irving has come out to 76. Dallas can improve to 7-6 in the NBA Finals, and that's how you could get a Mavericks to win Game One. It's certainly not impossible for the Mavericks to win Game One. Well, I'm not looking at Detroit too much, but then again, me personally, the top bet of the football season is the Lions to win the NFC is my number one bet because the AFC is the cream of the crop, and no other team is winning the West in my is winning the NFC in my view. I just feel more of the storylines pinpoint to the Lions over the Eagles. John Harbaugh may have started out as special teams coach in Philly. It's a bird matchup. It's a brother versus brother. But I like the Dan Campbell synchronization with the Baltimore Ravens. Uh, the synchronization of the Ravens because he lost the Super Bowl against the Ravens as a player on the New York Giants. The Giants lost against the Ravens. Dan Campbell was tight end of the Giants in the early 2000s. He was part of that choke job wild card game at San Francisco, and he was part of another collapse at the Bay Area. This time as a head coach. So yeah, I like Lions Ravens, but then again, it don't matter about the Super Bowl. How I look at it is get the Lions $5 for every dollar you stake in, and maybe put $1 out of those $5 on the winner of the Super Bowl, and that's how you win. That's how you make net profit with the futures. That's how I look at it. Like I told you, how you had to go for the Celtics to win the East, and that's how you come out with the net profit over the Lakers to win the West. Well, I don't give a damn about that because you have to know that Jews run basketball. HBO Jewish, Cuban Jewish. I think Pacers owners are Jew too. James Dolan's a Jew. He is. Yes, he is. Probably half the league. Probably half the league is. Are they to have him win after saying that they're not the real Jews because they're light skinned? I doubt it. This is such a boring. This is such a predictable NBA Finals. It's so predictable. Celtics in 6, but I'm taking Mavs in Game 1. The villains strike first, and the Celtics pounce right back. And you figure the Celtics benefited. Porzingis has not played yet, and they basically don't need Porzingis to play the rest of the Eastern Conference Finals. So you get him more time to rest and more time to recover. Did did Kyrie lose all his sponsorships? Did he retract his statements? Does he still have his shoe deals? Okay. See, that's exerting their control over Kyrie. They're exerting their control. Oh, the Nike deal was lost. The series going to be a split. Mavs win game 1. Celtics win game 2. Teams split at Dallas. Celtics win game 5. They let Kyrie Irving hear about it. He'll piss his pants if he returns to Boston. Celtics have won game 6. He don't want to go back to Boston for game 7. He don't want that smoke with a Celtic crowd. He don't want any of that. None of that. Celtics in 6. And before I go, Texas Camacho 15 full seasons. It's winning their last title. 15 full seasons without a title. Then 16 years later, Celtics win the championship. Texas is Camacho 15. Not to 2007, 2008, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's 15 full years without winning. And then the 2023 season, Celtics go 15 full seasons without winning the title, and the Celtics win the title again after 15 seasons without winning the title. So they win game 6 at Texas. They finally have won a championship.